It's someone who's restless and is unwilling to leave things as they are, someone who wants to change things.
Finding opportunities and grabbing them and going forward, and I think that's really exciting because it means that you're not necessarily bound by rules, you're bound by an objective that you've discovered or that you want to achieve.
It's so much more. You don't have to be the CEO of your own company, and anyone can be entrepreneurial within their job, and it's just a mindset more than anything else.
New products and processes that are creating social change in the world. Generally an entrepreneur, I'd say, is really passionate and trailblazing a new sort of way of I don't know, can we go there? I don't know where that sentence was going.
Oh, it's getting funding. I think that's certainly the thing I'm working on at the moment. Maybe that's why it's front of mind. But actually finding someone who's going to believe enough in your idea to give you some money that they're almost certainly going to lose. Yes, that's difficult.
Rules. I think many organisations have very fixed set rules, whether they are finance rules, procurement rules, just rules of the game that people are used to. Often people say we've done it like this or we can't do it like this, and I particularly find because I work in higher education, people have a very clear view about what something like student recruitment's meant to look like or what other activities are meant to look like, and I find that quite challenging, but I love breaking the mould.
I can definitely see myself being an entrepreneur in the future. However, I think I need to find what I'm truly passionate about before I go down that route. I quite like the idea of being entrepreneurial within an organisation, as I quite like the idea of having a safety net to fall back on so you're not as exposed. But yeah, maybe in the future.
Definitely, I'd say, to be honest, I think everyone's going to require to be an entrepreneur in the future. We're at a point in the time of the world where so much change is happening and there are so many pressing issues where if innovation doesn't happen, the world will basically collapse. So that's things like wealth inequality, environmental issues, and obviously we need global collaboration.
It's the first time I actually saw the app that I've developed being used by students. It was fantastic. I'd had this picture in my mind for years about what it was going to look like, how I was going to use it in the lecture room. And when I saw it, it was, to be honest, I felt quite tearful. It was quite, I think the students must have thought it was rather odd that there was the professor at the side of the room just going, my God, it works. And yes, that's actually seeing it come to life is fantastic.
I can look back and there's a number of things that I know that I was involved in or that I led that wouldn't have happened without me, but have absolutely benefited the companies I've worked for and have a lasting legacy, and I'm really proud of those things. And they can be really small things that only I know about, or really, really big things that are now embedded in an organisation and have changed it for the better.
Well, I think you've got to be sure about what you're doing, really, really sure about it. And then just be relentless and don't take no for an answer. You've got to amend things, but it's really to do with that keeping going. All entrepreneurs talk about this, the saying that there are so many barriers, so many setbacks. So as long as you're sure about what you're doing, then just keep going.
I've always been told that I should quit working for other people and set up my own business, but I'm going to be frank and say I've never really had the confidence to do that. I always think I've got more to learn. So I think take risks and do try, but also if you feel that you're more comfortable in a big organisation rather than you want to set up on your own, which is hard work, but both are, take the skills that you would have as an entrepreneur in terms of insights, risk-taking, finding opportunities, building relationships, and just having belief in yourself, and grab those and find your niche within a company or an organisation and make a difference. Whatever that difference is, make a difference.
Not all entrepreneurs are really successful the first time round. Many of the speakers that came in to talk to us took us through their journey so far, and it's actually taken them multiple attempts to get to where they are today. And also, as an economist, I've always thought that success as an entrepreneur is based off profits, when actually hearing from people like Sean from Ethical Hour proved that you can have a successful business that does make profit but doesn't put profit first. It focuses more on ethics, which I thought was quite cool.
So I'd say the modules really broaden my perspective of what entrepreneurship means. We've had so many speakers over the different weeks that have spoken about different aspects of entrepreneurship that I hadn't even previously considered. So when Ahmed, for example, spoke about Greta Thunberg as being a social entrepreneur, I previously would never have really considered her as one, but now I can see that an entrepreneur is actually quite a broad term that can even be applied as sort of a process rather than a person.
Restless.
Being ambitious. Oh, that was 2 words.
Dynamic.
Passionate.